Um, so what we're doing in BF3, we're making the game. You know, we want to make the game so that you will play the game more. Do you understand what I mean? I mean, you
Right.
want to rank up more, you want to play the game more, you want to advance in the ranks and that
There's
kind
going
of
to be
stuff.
more carrots dangled in front of us to incent us to rank up beyond,
Yes,
a
more
day's
carrots
playtime. Yeah.
dangled in front of you, Colin.
Um, let's see. Different game modes. You guys are announcing different game modes later, correct? You've got the three
Yes, we've
so far.
announced Rush, Conquest, and the Team Deathmatch.
That will be exciting for the other ones.
And people asking, so why only 32 players on Rush? Why don't you have 64 players on Rush? That's insane. Battlefield is 64 players, that's what you've been telling us. But yes, 64 players is... You're gonna have 64 players on Conquest, I mean. Not console. They're gonna have 64 players on Conquest, but 64 players on Rush would just turn it into a huge meat grinder.
Hmm.
It just wouldn't work.
It'd be impossible to win games on attacking.
Yes, yes, pretty much. And you would say that, well, why don't you make additional crates? And you might as well ask, why don't you change your core mechanic?
Right.
Because that is the scope of Rush. That is the core mechanic of Rush, to have two crates to arm and defend.
Hmm.
If you go away from that, it's no longer Rush as we know it in Battlefield. It's going to be something else. And why would we make something else and call it Battlefield?
Right.
It still needs to be Battlefield. That's the game we're making.
Hmm. So speaking of crates, and this is something obviously you won't go into much detail about, but we did notice that the crates look different than Bad Company 2. Does that tie in with the story of Battlefield 3 at all?
I can't say anything about the single player right now, but pretty much why the crates look different is, to my knowledge, is that it's Battlefield 3. It's not Bad Company 2.
I guess everyone's just so used to Bad Company 2.
Yeah, it was an awesome game. BC2.
Yes, for sure. Let's see, what other questions we got here. Why is it released later? That's probably a marketing thing.
Yeah, what we said so far is 25th.
Right.
That's the release date that has been coming from us at EA and DICE.
Any comment on different weapons for the factions?
I can't comment on that right now.
From what we've seen, there is, but obviously that can change.
Everything can change overnight.
Everything can change.
No, I'm being really serious. I mean, since the game is still in development, stuff can change. That's why when I don't comment on anything, it's pretty much because either it's still secret, and why is it still secret? Because we're working on it. We're changing it. It's pretty much. I mean, you can see it as when we did patches for Bad Company 2. Why didn't we really comment on stuff that we wanted to patch? It's because we actually wanted to take it into the studio, wanted to see if it works, wanted to see if it's going to be a huge gameplay changer or not when we make the patch, and then we will roll out the information. That's pretty much why. Because it's still under development. We need to try it out, we need to test it, we need to play test it in the studio. That's why you have play tests, pretty much. So talking about jets and that kind of stuff is too early right now. We wanna let the footage we've already put out sink in. We want to work with the stuff we're working on, and then we will roll it out.
Right. Do you find maybe it's... sorry, go ahead, Colin.
I was going to say, you've alluded a couple of times when we were talking like esports and whatnot to a battle recorder and that sort of thing. Is there any information, and I'm probably going to get a no comment, but is there any information available around the possibility of a battle recorder or a theater mode with the Frostbite 2 engine in Battlefield 3?
Oh, this is such a difficult question, Colin.
Us guys who like making videos are just foaming at the mouth to find out about this.
Yeah,
So
let's.
I gotta ask it. I'd be irresponsible of me to not ask it, but I can appreciate that I might not get anything out of you.
Let's say this. Esports is something that we focused on, and that's why we were at DreamHack. We love the whole esports feeling. I love it, and loads of other people in the studio love the esports feeling, the whole team feeling. BF2 was used as an esports game a lot, even though we didn't really have an aim support or aim dedication towards making it an esports game. It was just a sign of the times that fit into the esports scene at that time 6 years ago. What we're doing now, though, is that we're trying to have support for eSport in BF3 without saying too much. So I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna talk about any features and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's an answer.
That's a little bit of an answer.
I don't know if I call it an answer, but
No, I know. Everybody tells me to go hard on you, but I'm trying to.
Yeah, I mean, there is
Trying to
stuff I
tell
can
them,
say
you know?
and not say. I mean, people just need to. I mean, I can't say everything. People don't
Right.
work in the studio, and if you would work in the studio, you would actually understand how much dev time is being put down on decisions that might make it, they might not make it. This will change the game. No, this will not change the game. I mean, everything is an issue of balance, and we have so many talented people that have been working with us ever since the BF42 days. So I really feel for the people that really want to know more stuff, especially the people who want to know about the PC requirements because they need to save up on a lot of cash and that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, there is not really anything new I can say right now.
no, I understand it. I mean, the community need to realize, you're here during your evening voluntarily, and we have had some discussions back and forth before the podcast, and there are things that we can't. Well, I mean, we can ask the questions, but we're not going to get answers. So there's a couple I wanted to throw out there just because people have been harassing us about it. So we talked about this last time you were on. I'm sure there's very strict NDA policies all over the studio right now around the game in general. So.
Yeah, around the games, our general manager, Carl Magnus, was on the Wall Street Journal, I think it was 2 months ago. You couldn't imagine that. I don't know if you guys saw the EA press conference with John Riccitello a few months ago when he spoke about advertising within games. Advertising within games has been with the EA Sports franchise for some days, or for some years, but it has steadily increased.
So what is some information's been released? So maybe you can kind of clear up for everyone what Battlelog is to the best, to whatever extent you.
Coming out on Battlelog, so you see, I'm struggling to actually say something. But it's going to be a new social platform. It's going to be amazing, pretty much.
Well, I mean, it's something we saw something similar at E3. That EA was doing around the FIFA franchise. Going forward with Battlelog?
Yes.
Without getting too specific, of course.
Yes.
All right.
You should work as a reporter, Colin.
Thinking about it. Everyone on here is going to disagree. No, you got to be harder on them. No.
Tell him to call me, and I'll set you up. You'll be vice president in no time.
Well, I appreciate that.
All the information, like you're going to crack under pressure or something.
Oh, yeah.
It's the Battlefield community is a great community. We're trying to keep it like that. That's why we have you on, just to talk and
Yeah, one of the big things I have to say, I'm making it a bit more personal now, in regards to news and that kind of stuff. I mean, what kind of a coworker would I be if I told people about the stuff we're working on, and then a developer, like a gameplay designer like Demise, comes back to me and says, "Hey man, why did you studio to actually keep the secrets for themselves?" I mean, I'm not a gameplay designer. The gameplay designer is for the gameplay team and the multiplayer team and that kind of stuff. And I wouldn't feel as a good coworker if I went back to work and have revealed all their secrets.
yeah, and your employer probably wouldn't appreciate that either.
That too. And then there's the part with the employer, the minor part.
Minor part. Speaking of employer, did you guys?
The position.
The location is in Stockholm.
Maybe
Oh,
a deal
man.
breaker, Colin.
Well, I was going to say, I've said to...
Done. So as we're winding down, I guess.
Yeah, I've
try to
actually
pick
met
out-
Tabe, by the way. A question from the chat.
Oh, cool.
There you go. He's met Tabe.
Yes. Should we take some more questions?
Sure. Let's see. Will Battlefield 3 have a leaner peak? Well, Guarantee you won't get any information about that.
A what?
A lean or peek, like peeking around corners.
Oh, no comment. And the commander role, I can finally comment on that. I'm trying to stay away from it because whatever I apparently say about commander role brings up huge discussions that are so detached and divorced from the topic I actually started that I don't even recognize the threads anymore. So let's just confirm this once and for all that commander function has been moved down so that everyone can take part in the battlefield. The problem with the commander was that 2 players, 1 player on each side out of 64, could choose it, and it didn't really give any bang for the buck. I mean, these 2 people were coordinating stuff, and if these 2 commanders were bad, the team would usually suffer. So we moved them down, so every class can now take part of this huge battle with commander experiences, right? And many of these commander experiences from BF2 are still in the game. So that's what I can say about commander